Welcome Humboldt Cubs to some Humboldt Cubs football here at B&W Trailer Hitches Stadium in Humboldt, Kansas. The undefeated Cubs are going to take on the Southeast Cherokee Lancers this evening, who come into this contest at 4-3. Humboldt 7-0 in overall play, and I believe 4-0 in district play. Plan on to finish up an undefeated record for the regular season tonight. And going into playoffs next week, we have already clinched home field advantage for Humboldt. The Lancers will be receiving the opening kickoff this evening, as Humboldt won the toss and deferred and elected to receive in the second half of the ballgame. We are setting the ball on the tee, getting ready for the kick. Kicking for the Cubs this evening appears to be Dagan Goodner. He was out last week with a little bit of head injury. They're kind of being a little bit precautionary, hoping he wouldn't have a concussion. The kick is off, and it is an onside kick, and there is a flag on the play. We'll see what the penalty call is. Marked at the 48-yard line of Humboldt. Refs are still discussing the call. It's going to be against the Cubs, but we'll see what the exact call is. Nonetheless, didn't see what the call was, but the Lancers are going to take over 1st and 10 from the Humboldt 49-yard line. Excellent field position to open up the ball game for the Lancers. First play is a high snap. Ball rolls all the way back to the Lancer 30, and quarterback tries to fall on it. It's going to be recovered by the Cubs at the 25-yard line. Dagan Goodner recovers the fumble. 26-yard loss on the play for the Lancers results in a Humboldt recovery. Not exactly how Southeast was wanting to start out this ball game. Exactly how Humboldt was wanting to. What a hustle play by Dagan Goodner. Running darn near 30 yards to recover the ball. Cubs will come out in a full house pistol formation, single receiver to each side. It is going to be a handoff to Connor Haviland. He bounces it out to the right side, and he's going to be brought down for about a 1-yard gain. Haviland had himself a game last week, recording 7 rushing touchdowns in the first half alone against Northeast Arma. He's almost at 1,000 rushing yards on the season with 29 touchdowns and averaging over 10 yards per carry up to this point in the season. Solid numbers for the junior back. Pistol formation once again for the Cubs. Twin receivers left, single right. It's going to be another fake handoff. It's going to be a pass to Kyler Allen out to the left side. Allen's got some room, and he's going to get hit at about the 4-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Reese Jacobs on the stop for the Lancers. First and goal for the Cubs at the 3-yard line. It's going to be a shotgun formation. Haviland to the right of Goodner. Twin receivers to the right, single to the left. It is going to be a quarterback draw up the middle, and Dagan Goodner is in for a Cubs touchdown. First of the night. 56 seconds into the ball game, and they didn't even receive the opening kickoff. Most of the year we have seen the Cubs go for a 2-point conversion for most of the start of the ball game after scoring touchdowns. And it looks like it's going to be no different. They're going to go with the exact same formation they ran on the touchdown play. And it's going to be the exact same play. 2-point conversion is good. Dagan Goodner up the middle. That is going to bring the score to 8-0 in favor of the Cubs. 11:04 remaining here in the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and send it back to the studio for a 30-second commercial timeout. We will be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY.
Let's go, Cubs. CSI has more than 20 companies with 12 licensed agents to provide coverage for farm, commercial, home, auto, life, and crop insurance. Farm, residential, and commercial real estate services are also available with CSI. Go to CSI-insurance.com for locations near you and to get an online quote.
CSI is a proud supporter of the Humboldt Cubs. Go Cubs!
Let's get back to some Humboldt Cubs football on the one and only 1460 AM and 98.5 FM radio.
Welcome back to Cubs football here on 98.5 FM, 1460 AM KKOY. The Cubs have already kicked off, and the Lancers took it at the 35 and only gained 3 yards on the return. Will be 1st and 10 once again for the Lancers. Their first drive cut short off just one play on a high snap that rolled about 26 yards for a Cubs recovery. It'll be a shotgun formation, and there is a flag on the play. Multiple flags flying as it was a very obvious penalty. Back up the Lancers. 5 yards, false start. First and 15 from their own 33-yard line. So 2 plays for the Lancers, and, well, really just one play. Another penalty on a different one. Shotgun formation, twin receivers to the left. It'll be a pass to the left, and he is hit immediately. Wow. Isaiah Coronado absolutely destroyed the receiver. I'm actually surprised he held on to it. It was a no-gain play. 2nd and 15 from the 33-yard line. Motion right, pitch right. Going to try and stiff arm a defender, get the edge, and he is going to be hit hard. 1 yard loss on the play. Number 25 on the carry, Jacob Tavanara, the junior tailback for the Lancers. He was met by Taryn Johnson and Kyler Allen on the play. Third and 16 coming up for the Lancers offense. Twin receivers to the left, shotgun formation. Motion left, handoff left to 42. It's going to be a trick play, and he's going to toss it into the dirt. 4th down coming for the Lancers. Humboldt's defense held strong on that play. It'll be 4th and 16 and a very obvious punting situation, as the Lancers will look to reverse the field of play and hopefully give Humboldt a little bit of field position. On the punt, it is a low snap, bounces off the ground, punter barely gets it away, and it goes out of bounds right about the 49-yard line of Southeast Cherokee is where the ref is going to spot it at. So the Cubs are going to start their second offensive possession of the evening in Lancer territory once again, just on the good side of the 50. 9:36 remaining here in the first quarter. Humboldt does lead 8-0 if you are just joining us. Humboldt lines up in a pistol formation. Single receiver to the left is Coronado. Twin receivers to the right, Johnson and Allen. Haviland in the backfield. It is going to be a handoff to Haviland out to the right side. He's going to stiff arm a defender. He's going to get the edge. Stiff arms number 42. Oh, pushed out of bounds at the 22-yard line. He almost broke that one for a touchdown. Jacob Tavanaro is the defender that forced Haviland out of bounds. Good on him for hustling his way to the sideline. That was about a 28-yard carry on the play for Haviland. Pistol formation once again, twin receivers to the left. Coronado and Allen. Taryn Johnson to the right. It's going to be a speed option play. Goodner's going to pitch it to Haviland. He's going to try and run over a defender. He does. Tiptoes the sideline. Touchdown Cubs. Connor Haviland imposing his will on the defense early on tonight. 14-0 is now the score. Cubs will look to make it 16-0. 9:17 still on the clock here in the first quarter. We're not even 3 minutes in yet, and the Cubs are already up by 2 scores. Cubs are going to line up in a pistol formation. Motion left. It's going to be an option to the right. Pitch out to Haviland. Bad pitch, and it's going to roll out of bounds. 2-point conversion, no good by the Cubs. Cubs lead 14-0 here. Still early in the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and send it back to the station for another 30-second timeout as we prepare for kickoff. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Thirty seconds. Seconds. Welcome back to Cubs football here at B&W Trailer Hitches Stadium in Humboldt, Kansas. The Cubs just scored their second touchdown of the evening about 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the contest. Score is now 14-0 in favor of the Cubs. Welcome back to Cubs football once again. Not sure if the studio can hear me or not, but I can hear myself through the broadcast, so I assume everything's all right. 8:58 remaining. It is 3rd and 8 for the Southeast Lancers on their own 41-yard line. A couple of short gain plays for the Lancers. Shotgun formation, tailback to the left of the quarterback. It is a screen play to the tailback, and it is picked off by David Watts. Nose guard David Watts read the screen play beautifully and intercepted it, took it right out of the hands of the tailback. Cubs take over 1st and 10 at the 32. It is a screen play to Kyler Allen. He's going to break a tackle, get a good block from Taryn Johnson, try to bounce it back up the middle, and he's going to be brought down at about the 19-yard line. Lost his footing there as he tried to make a jump cut back to the middle. Tucker Hurst lays down a shoulder and drags a couple defenders to the 4-yard line on the first down run. Cubs will take over first and goal from the 3-yard line. They have a tight formation. It's going to be a handoff to David Watts. He's going to break a couple tackles and barrel his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cubs. The score is now 20-0 in favor of the Cubs. 7:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Cubs will more than likely go for 2 once again here, as every offensive member stayed on the field. They have Taryn Johnson out wide to the right, Kyler Allen to the left, Haviland to the left of the quarterback. And there is a whistle, timeout Cubs. Coach Wyrick thought there might have been a little bit confusion there. Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio for a 30-second timeout. We'll take one with them. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas, as Humboldt goes for a 2-point conversion here. 7:24 remaining in the ballgame. Cubs lead 20-0 after the touchdown. Goodner is going to roll left. He's going to make a defender miss, and he is in the end zone. 2-point conversion good for the Cubs. That'll bring the score to 22-0. As we prepare for kickoff, let's send it back to the studio for another 30-second timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas, as we prepare for kickoff. The Cubs lead 22-0, 7:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Connor Haviland is set to kick for the Cubs. The kick is away, and it is to the left side of the field. It'll be fielded off of a bounce and just fallen upon at about the 28-yard line of Southeast Cherokee. So that is where the Lancers will take over for their third possession of the ball game. Fourth possession. First 3 possessions for the Lancers resulted in 2 turnovers and 1 punt. Last possession ended in a David Watts interception off of a tailback screenplay read beautifully. Motion right. It'll be a pitch out to the right. Poor execution. Not really sure what that was on the play. It'll be taken for probably a 1-yard loss on the play. That'll more than likely bring up 2nd and 11 from the 27-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 27.5, so they probably won't change the scoreboard. They'll say it's 2nd and 10 from about almost the 28-yard line. Single receiver to each side, shotgun formation. It is going to be a pass play. Lancers look deep right, had a man. Taron Johnson intercepts the football. Taron Johnson, interception at the 46-yard line of Humboldt. 3rd turnover of the first quarter for the Lancers offense. 2 interceptions and a fumble, and that is not at all how you want to approach your final game of the season with a playoff spot on the line for the Lancers. The Lancers would make the playoffs with either a win this evening or a loss by Erie, who is playing Northeast Arma. Northeast Arma has yet to win a game this year, and Erie looks to be the team to win that matchup. So more than likely, Southeast Cherokee will have to win this game to make the playoffs, sitting at a 4-3 record. Cubs are taking over 1st and 10 at their own, they're going to say the 45-yard line, and they're going to call a false start against the Cubs. It'll back them up 5 yards, so it'll be 1st and 15 from their own 40 to start this next offensive series. 6:39 remaining here in the first quarter. Score is 22-0 in favor of the Cubs. Full house pistol formation. Speed option to the right. Goodner's going to pitch it to Allen, and there's a fumble on the play. Recovered by the Cubs. Taron Johnson heads up play. Man who just made the interception on the last defensive series recovers an offensive fumble and saves the day. It's actually going to be a gain of 5, so it'll get them back to the line of scrimmage. Goodner tried to pitch it as he was being taken down and pitched it behind Allen. Probably would have been better off just hanging on to it. If the pitch was there, it was going to be a big play, though. Shotgun formation, trips receivers to the left. It is going to be a screen play all the way across the field, and they're going to say it was an incomplete pass. It was almost a backwards pass, or a lateral, if you will. And Southeast Cherokee could have recovered that one. Nonetheless, it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Cubs. 5:44 remaining here in the first quarter. They're flirting with midfield here, trying to get into Lancer territory to go up by 4 scores. Shotgun formation, twin receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, roll to the left. Goodner's going to have to pass it soon. He's got a man, Tucker Hurst, and he's got the first down by about 5 yards. Tucker Hurst with about a 15-yard reception on the play. Found a soft spot in the coverage and sat and made a good catch. It was underthrown just a little bit by Goodner. Nonetheless, that'll move the chains for another Cubs first down. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line of the Lancers. Cubs approach the line of scrimmage. Goodner's going to be under center. Haviland behind him. Single receiver to the left. Jumbo tight ends to the right. It is going to be a handoff to number 52, Reed Barnett. He's going to bounce it out right and be brought down at about the 39-yard line. Trying to give Barnett some love here and getting him a carry. If Barnett was a little bit faster, he would have had the edge and probably would have outran everybody to the end zone, but just wasn't quite fast enough to break the edge of the field there. It'll be 2nd and 9 here on the Lancer 39-yard line. Burnett and Haviland jog off the field. Coronado and Allen jog onto the field. And they have David Watts in the backfield. Usually plays center. It is going to be a pitch to David Watts. He's going to get a block, and he's going to be chopped down for a 2 or 3 yard loss on the play. He's usually their goal line package. Watts is fast, but he's not that fast. Haviland back on the field now. It'll be 3rd and 12 from the 42-yard line, needing to get to the Lancers 30. It's going to be a shotgun formation. Hurst to the right of the quarterback. It's going to be a pass play. Has Haviland. Haviland's going to break a tackle on his way to the end zone. Connor Haviland, touchdown Cubs. 42-yard touchdown pass off 3rd and 12. Goodner hit Haviland right out of his break beautifully for that score. Took him a minute to get going on that possession, but a big play sprung a touchdown for the Cubs. That'll bring the score to 28-0 as we go for a 2-point conversion here. Isaiah Coronado split way out wide to the left. Shotgun formation once again. Hurst to the right of Goodner. It's going to be a fake high snap. Hurst is going to take the carry and bulldoze his way into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good by the Cubs. 3:34 remaining here in the first quarter. Cubs lead 30-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout as we go to approach kickoff. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here following the 42-yard touchdown reception by Connor Haviland on a pass from Dagan Goodner. Score is 30-0 in favor of the Cubs. 3:34 remaining in the first quarter. Goodner is set to kick for the Cubs. It is going to be a deep kick way down the field, and it's going to be fielded at the goal line, and they're going to call it a touchback. Never gained full possession until he was in the end zone. That was the furthest kick we have seen from Dagan Goodner all year. Very solid kick. Lancers will take over off the touchback at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. We will see if they are able to get anything going here. It'll be a shotgun formation, tailback to the right of the quarterback. It is going to be a pitch out to the left, cut back up middle, and drop for a 5-yard loss, met by a committee of Cubs. Ball carrier lost his helmet on the play, so he'll have to come out for one. Carrier was number 42 for the Lancers. That is Zayden Hendricks, the sophomore tailback. Shotgun formation once again, single receiver to the left. It's going to be a pass play. Looking left, steps up in the pocket, tries to evade some pressure, and is going to be brought down at about the 17-yard line, so it'll be a 1-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and about 13 as we approach, kind of getting near the end of the first quarter, just over 2 minutes remaining. Should be a pass play here, I would imagine. And it'll be a quarterback draw. He's got some room. And he's going to get close to the first down, but not quite there, probably about 3 yards short. They needed to get to the 30, and they're going to mark them down right about the 27.5 yard line, so about 2.5 yards short. We'll see what the Lancers elect to do here. They're already down by 4 scores. And they are going to go for it. Shotgun formation once again, single receiver to the left. Motion right. It is going to be a pass option. They're going to pitch it out right, and he is going to be brought down for a 2-yard loss. Turnover on downs for the Lancers. The Cubs will take over at the Southeast 26-yard line. So Southeast elected to go for it on 4th and short, and it seemed to be a mistake on the play. Nonetheless, 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. Cubs take over. 1st and 10 on the Lancers' 26-yard line. Goodner will bring the offense out in a shotgun formation. Haviland to the right side of him. Allen and Coronado to the left. Hurst and Johnson to the right. Allen motions right. Takes the sweep handoff. Has a lead blocker and Haviland out beside him. He's going to break a couple tackles. Fumbles the football, and Southeast recovers at the 15-yard line. Kyler Allen fumbled the football at the 15-yard line, wasn't quite able to keep a firm hold on it. They're going to mark it at the 14-yard line. So Southeast will take over 1st and 10 from there. 1:22 remaining in the first quarter. Trying to get back in the ball game, down 30-0. Three turnovers for the Lancers and 1 for the Cubs up to this point. It is going to be a run play for the Lancers up the middle, and it's going to be brought down for maybe a 1-yard gain. They're going to say he actually gained about 2. Maybe 3. 2nd and 7 is what they're going to call it. From the 17-yard line, 1 minute exactly remaining in the first quarter. Shotgun formation once again. Motion right. It's going to be an option to the right, and quarterback's going to be drugged down about 5 yards deep in the backfield. Caleb Klauman on the stop on that last play for the Cubs, number 77. Third and 13 for the Lancers. Motion right once again. Pass play. Looking right. Passes right. Has a man and out of bounds. The pass goes incomplete. 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's going to bring up a punting situation for the Lancers. 4th and 13. Back deep to receive is the dangerous Connor Haviland. Averaging a little over 40 yards per punt return this season. Sky-high punt is going to take a Humboldt bounce. There is going to be, wow, a net gain on the play of 5 yards. So a net punt of 5 yards after it bounced backwards about 15 yards. So Humboldt will take over 1st and 10 at the Southeast Lancers 16-yard line. Sports in Kansas tweeted out a picture of Haviland with a little bit of stats beside it earlier in the week. He has 29 rushing touchdowns entering today's game, 953 yards on the ground, 138 yards receiving the ball, 365 punt return yards for 4 touchdowns, averages 15.5 yards per carry. His punt return average was 40.6 yards per return. And it is worth to note that Haviland is also a junior and was a all-state baseball selection his freshman and sophomore years. with his junior and senior years still to come. They're flipping the field as we are swapping quarters here, going from quarter one to quarter two. If the Cubs stay on pace, they'll end up scoring 120 points tonight. I doubt that that is what will happen, but that is what they are on pace for. I imagine before too long, they'll build up a comfortable lead to have a running clock and then put their second teamers in, their freshmen and sophomores, getting them some playing experience, try to avoid injuries as we approach playoff week next week. It'll be a run play by Dagan Goodner on the first play of the second quarter. He's got one man to beat, and he is in for a touchdown, Cubs. 8 seconds into the quarter, one play, and Dagan Goodner gets a 16-yard rushing touchdown. Cubs will more than likely be going for two once again to make the score 38-0 as we sit at 36-0. Cubs are getting the call from Coach Wyrick on the sideline. Single receiver out wide to the right is Taryn Johnson. Haviland in the backfield, Goodner under center. It is going to be a pitch to Haviland to the left. He's going to cut it back up the middle, sneak his way into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. Cubs now lead 38-0, 11:52 remaining in the first half. We'll send it back to the studio for a 30-second timeout as we approach kickoff. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas. Humboldt Cubs lead the Southeast Cherokee Lancers 38-0 as we have just started. We are 8 seconds into the second quarter. Dagan Goodner is set to kick for the Cubs. His last kick went to about the 15-yard line and bounced into the end zone. This kick is sky high, going to be fielded at about the 25-yard line by the Lancers. Number 25 on the return, tries to cut it up the middle. Had a little bit of a lane, gained 5 yards, but he ran about 40 yards for it. Ended up taking 6 seconds off of the clock, 11:46 remaining in the first half. Lancers will start their next drive at their own 31-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Lancers. Motion left. It's going to be a handoff to the right. Number 17 on the carry, and he is going to be met immediately. Brumback on the carry. They are going to say that it was a no-gain play for the Lancers. Joe Murrow on the stop for the Cubs. Shotgun formation once again for the Lancers. Motion left. Fake handoff left. Quarterback keeper bounces it out to the left. Cuts it upfield and is going to be tackled about a 4-yard gain at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 6. Or they're going to say a 3rd and 5 for the Lancers. It's more about a 3rd and 6, but the board operator here at the stadium wants to give them an extra yard. 10:40 remaining in the half. We'll just go with it, say a 3rd and 5. Tight bunch formation. Motion right. It's going to be an option right. Quarterback cuts it up the middle, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield about 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up about a 4th and 8 situation And more than likely another punt by the Lancers. Connor Haviland and Kyler Allen back deep to receive for the Cubs. The Lancers are probably going to try and punt it away from Haviland. Good snap on the punt. They are going to punt in the direction of Allen, and the punt will fly out of bounds, probably right around the 39 or so yard line. The ref feels like not walking that far, it looks like. And he's going to mark it at the 44-yard line instead. From up here, it looked like it probably went out of bounds at about the 39, but we'll trust the referee's judgment on this one as I'm all the way across the field. Cubs football, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. Full house pistol formation, single receiver to each side of the field. It is going to be a pass play. Coronado does a double fake move on the far side. Coronado almost hauled it in. If he would have been able to hold on, that was a touchdown. Goodner threw a decent pass into double coverage, put it to where almost only his guy could get it, but the Lancers barely tipped it. Coronado still almost hauled it in, though. Garrett Evans on the pass breakup for the Lancers. 2nd and 10 from the 44. Shotgun formation, empty set. Trips receivers to the right, twin receivers to the left. Haviland motions from the left to the right, bounces it out to the edge. Solid edge block by Taryn Johnson on the right side. Haviland's going to stiff arm his way, break a couple tackles. He is down the sideline and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Taryn Johnson with a monster block on the edge. Haviland tried to bounce it back up the middle, but as soon as he seen that block, he changed directions in a hurry. And wise decision on his part. Went from their own 44 to the opposing team's 19-yard line. 37-yard carry for Haviland. And he's got to be real close to 1,000 yards on the year by now. First and 10 from the 19, full house pistol formation. Dagan Goodner's going to keep it, bounce it through up the middle, and he's going to drag defenders down to the 4-yard line. Give them about 10 or 15 yards after contact. Brett Maley on the tackle for the Lancers. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for the Cubs. 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Trying to put another 6 points on the board to make it 44-0. Pistol formation. Hurst to the left of Goodner. There's a flag on the play. But it looks like it's actually going to be a Cubs timeout. They're going to say they got the timeout called before the flag was thrown. While they take a timeout, let's take one with them. 30 seconds. We'll be right back here on 98.5 FM, 1460 AM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football. 1st and goal for the Humboldt Cubs offense. Cubs approach the line of scrimmage, and the Lancers are having to sprint their tails back onto defense. They took a little long on the timeout. It'll be a pistol formation for the Cubs. Tucker Hurst to the right of Dagan Goodner. Connor Haviland behind him. Taryn Johnson split out wide to the right. Kyler Allen and Coronado to the left. Good snap. Handoff Haviland. He's going to be met in the backfield, break a tackle, and just waltz his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Cubs are up 44-0 now. 8:44 remaining in the half. Cubs will more than likely go for 2 points once again here. Try and make the score 46-0. Shotgun formation, Hurst to the right, Allen to the left. It is a handoff to Allen. He is going to break a tackle, and he is in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Cubs now lead 46-0. While we approach kickoff, let's take another 30-second timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas, as the Cubs lead 46-0 after the Connor Haviland 4-yard touchdown run. 8:44 remaining here in the first half. Dagan Goodner set to kick for the Cubs. It is going to be a high soaring kick that is going to go out of bounds. Illegal procedure call against the Cubs. Kickoffs are not allowed to go out of bounds. That'll set up shop for the Southeast Lancers at about the 35-yard line, I believe. It will be the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Lancers. Shotgun formation, motion to the right, pitch to number 17 on the play. He's going to be hit hard. Fumble on the play, recovered by Kyler Allen. There was a flag on the play. Lancers are going to maintain possession. They're going to say possibly that he was down by contact. Not really sure what in the world the call was. Nonetheless, the Lancers maintain possession after a 2-yard loss on the run play. Shotgun formation, single receiver split out to the left. Good snap, pass play, looking left. Number 15 on a screen play, makes one man miss, is going to fight for some extra yardage and will be brought down at about the 36 or 7 yard line. They're going to say it was about a 3 or 4 yard gain on the play. It'll bring up about a 3rd and 8. They're going to mark it at the 37-yard line. Dagan Goodner on the tackle. Shotgun formation for the Lancers once again. Motion left, fake handoff left, quarterback keeper, and he's going to be brought down for maybe a loss of 1 or a no gain on the play. Number 14 on the carry for the Lancers. Bryce Peterson listed as the quarterback this evening for the Lancers. 7:15 remaining in the first half. Punting situation for the Lancers. Back deep to receive is Connor Haviland and Kyler Allen. Last punt went to the side of Allen, but we were on the other side of the field where the ball is placed on the far hash mark. Almost blocked. And it is going to go out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the southeast 48-yard line, so the Cubs will take over on the good side of the 50 for about the fourth or fifth time this evening. Humboldt offense already onto the field, taking no time getting set. 6:56 remaining in the first half. Cubs lead 46-0, looking to increase it to plus 50. Stacks formation, receivers to each side of the field. Pistol formation, Haviland the lone tailback. It's going to be a option play to the left. Goodner's going to pitch to Haviland, and he's going to be met upon receiving the pitch. 3-yard loss on the play. Goodner should have kept it himself. Might have gotten a no gain on the play. Instead, they lose 3. Kyler Allen jogs off the field. He's being replaced by Briar Orth. 2nd and 13 for the Cubs on their own 49-yard line. 6:20 remaining in the half. Taryn Johnson, lone receiver to the right side. Orth and Coronado, the receivers to the left. Pistol formation. Haviland the tailback. It's going to be a play action. Goodner looks left. Fires downfield. Picked off by the Lancers. Ill-advised throw. Lancers fumble the ball but do recover it. Flag on the play. Lancers retain possession after the fumble. Post-interception. There's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. We'll see who it's against. The penalty flag is placed at the 46-yard line of Southeast. It's going to be probably against the Cubs. We will see. Personal foul against the Lancers. That'll move the ball all the way down from the 37-yard line of Southeast to the 22-yard line of Southeast. Let's see who has possession. It's going to be Southeast ball. A little bit of confusion here between everybody, refs, and each side of each team. It appears that it is going to be Southeast ball. And they're going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. 5:55 on the clock here left in the first half. Shotgun formation, motion left, handoff right to number 17, and he's going to be brought down for a 3-yard loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Lancers. Humboldt's defensive line sniffed out that play fairly quickly. They've already seen it about 3 times tonight. Lancers approach the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation once again. Single receiver out left. Motion right. It's going to be a pass play. Has a receiver up the middle and almost picked off by Joe Murrow. Not sure if he's seen the ball coming, but it hit his arm. Murrow attempted to shake up the receiver a little bit after the play, giving him some tough love. 3rd and 13, Lancers on their own 19-yard line. 5:15 remaining in the first half. There are going to be twin receivers to the left, single receiver to the right for the Lancers. Empty backfield. Should be a pass play here on 3rd and long. Quarterback rolls out, and incomplete pass. Poor execution on that offensive play. Quarterback was ready to throw it and was being pressured fairly heavily, and the receivers didn't come out of their break very fast. They kind of lollygagged through it almost. Punting situation for the Lancers once again. Flag on the play right as the snap came out of the sender's hand. False start against the Lancers. Back them up another 5 yards, bring up 4th and 18 from their own 14-yard line. Jackson Akins joins Haviland and Allen back deep to receive for the Cubs. Sideways snap, decent punt off of the snap, will bounce out of bounds right at the 40-yard line of the Lancers, so a decent punt that time by the Lancers. Nets about 26 yards. It's one of his better punts this evening. .453 remaining here in the first half. Cubs take over in Lancer territory. Dagan Goodner comes out with the Cubs offense. Shotgun formation, trips receivers to the right. It's Allen, Coronado, and Johnson. Bad snap on the play. Goodner smart just to fall on it. They will lose about 7 or 8 yards on the play. Be 2nd and long coming up for the Cubs. They mark it at the 47-yard line, so a loss of 7. 2nd and 17 for the Cubs offense. Just under 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Cubs still lead 46-0 if you are just now joining us. Shotgun formation, pistol formation. Haviland, the lone tailback. Good snap to Goodner, handoff to Haviland. He is going to bounce it out to the far right side, stiff arm a defender, tiptoe the sideline, and is going to gain some decent yardage, pushed out of bounds right about the 33-yard line. Be about a 14-yard gain for Haviland. We'll bring up about a 3rd and 3 situation on the 33. The Cubs have been good all season with their downfield blocking by their receivers. It's amazing how well they block on the perimeter. For 3rd and 3, they'll come up shotgun formation. Haviland to the left of Goodner. Trips receivers to the left are Allen, Johnson, and Coronado. It'll be a rollout pass looking left. Has a man downfield and almost intercepted. Good coverage by the Lancers on the play. Goodner looked to the wrong receiver on the play. He had another guy open in a different spot, but elected to shoot it to Kyler Allen. It'll be 4th and 3 on the 33-yard line for the Cubs. Leading 46-0. We'll see what they do here. They are going to go for it. Taron Johnson, far receiver out wide to the right. Isaiah Coronado to the left. Tucker Hurst in the H-back set. Goodner takes a snap. It's going to be a quarterback draw to the right. He has the first down and much more. Makes a guy miss, trucks a defender, bulldozes his way down and getting the first down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Cubs. Brett Maley and Evan Brumback on the stop for the Lancers. They were the last 2 lines of defense. Dagan Goodner wasn't taking anything from anybody on that play. 24-yard run on what should have been about a 10-yard run. 3:30 remaining in the first half. Cubs taking their time here, up 46-0. Twin receivers to the left is Coronado and Allen. Taryn Johnson to the right. Haviland, the lone tailback. It'll be a handoff to Haviland. He bounces it up the middle, makes two guys miss, and is in the end zone. Flag on the play, however. The flag is going to be a holding call against the Cubs. That will wipe the touchdown off of the scoreboard. Flag is at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be first and goal, but from the 19-yard line for the Cubs. Just at 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Trips receivers to the left. So Allen, Coronado, and Hurst. Johnson to the right is the lone receiver. It's going to be a fake handoff to Haviland. Dagan Goodner's up the middle, and he is in the end zone. Dagan Goodner, 19-yard touchdown. That'll push the score. Should be 52-0. It is. 2:47 remaining here in the first half. Twin receivers to each side of the ball. Haviland in the slot. Hurst is the lone back. Good snap to Goodner. Handoff. Fake handoff to Hurst. Goodner's going to take it out to the far edge and sneak into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good for the Cubs. That'll bring the score 54-0 in favor of Humboldt over the Southeast Cherokee Lancers. While we get ready for the preceding kickoff, let's send it back to the studio for another 30-second timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here at B&W Trailer Hitches Stadium at the Humboldt Sports Complex Center in Humboldt, Kansas. Dagan Goodner set to kick off for the Cubs following his touchdown run. Good kick to the left side of the field, fielded at about the 31, bounces it out left, and is going to be chopped down hard by Kyler Allen. Brett Maley on the return for Southeast, and he's going to wish he didn't field that one. Kyler Allen laid his shoulder down and took him down about mid-thigh range and flipped him upside down. 2:41 remaining here in the first half. Cubs lead 54-0, over the Southeast Cherokee Lancers. Flag on the play. It'll be offsides against the Cubs. That'll push the ball 5 yards upfield. Shotgun formation for the Lancers. Motion right. Number 17 motions. It'll be a pass. This trying to evade pressure. It's going to be a sack on the play. Taryn Johnson with the sack for the Cubs. That'll be 2nd and 14 for the Lancers here. 1:45 remaining in the first half. Clock keeps ticking. Shotgun formation, single receiver to the left. High snap. It's going to be a draw play, and he's going to be brought down hard. Number 77 on the tackle for the Cubs. Caleb Clawman. They're going to say they gained about 1 yard on the play. Minute 10 remaining in the first half. Cubs still lead 54-0. Lancers are just now bringing in the play. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Clock is now under a minute to go here in the first half. Probably 2 or 3 more plays is all we'll have time to run here. Southeast is going to have to snap the ball fast. 3 seconds on the play clock. Motion. They do get it off. Looking left to pass. And incomplete. Pass intended. Garrett Evans, number 2, the intended receiver. Isaiah Coronado on the coverage. 4th and 13 now for Southeast. 39.9 seconds remaining in the first half. Back deep to receive. They're finally going to put Connor Haviland by himself. Been an all-star punt returner for him this season. We'll see if they just punt it out of bounds here. Low snap for the punt. Gets it off, and it will fly out of bounds once again. Not giving him a chance to return it. They're going to say it went out of bounds right at the 40-yard line, or the 39-yard line, excuse me. So Humboldt will have 1 more possession here in the first half, just over 30 seconds remaining. They have 1 timeout remaining if they need it. We'll see if they decide to kneel down or go for it and try and get another score before the half.
Again, the winning number on the 50-50 raffle, 514-9201.
Pistol formation, twin receivers to the right is Allen and Jackson Akins. It is going to be a handoff to Tucker Hurst up the middle. He's going to bulldoze his way, get close to the first down marker. Is a couple yards short.
And on the stop, number 77, Noah Newcomb.
That will more than likely bring us to halftime. We're at 17 seconds on the game clock, and the play clock is yet to start rolling. And each team is going to jog off the field. That'll bring us to the half. We're going to go ahead and send it back to the studio. We have a very important message from Bowling's Meat Market in store for you, as they are having a 3-day meat sale this weekend. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll play a few more commercials, and we'll probably be back here in about 15 to 20 minutes after halftime intermission to start the third quarter. Cubs lead 54-0 over the Southeast Cherokee Lancers. We will see you in about 15 minutes.
I'd like to direct your attention to the center of the field as our Humboldt Cubs dance squad comes out to perform at halftime. Our seniors are Erica McCall, Morgan Mock, Riley Brown, juniors Haley Hammer, Ty Selman, Emma Johnson, Elena Johnson, Kirsten Roush,
You hear me?
sophomores Isabel Murrow, Jessica Myers, Tammy Woods, Jalen Goforth, Ashlyn Bartlett, Macy Yost, quilt that the Humboldt High School cheerleading squad has been raffling tickets off for. We'd like to send a special thanks out to Alan and Pat Wilhite for all their time and effort in making this Humboldt High School t-shirt quilt, which helped the cheerleaders raise over $3,500 for expenses. Drawing the winning ticket tonight will be Trey Summers. And the winning ticket goes to Pat Tippy of Humboldt, Kansas. Get our gridiron cake tickets out. We're raffling off cakes. We've got 6 cakes all together. The first ticket number is 741-6886. 741-6886. Second ticket, 741-6936. Third ticket, 741-6904. 6904. Fourth ticket, 741-6952. 6952. Fifth ticket, 741-6910. 6910. And our final ticket for the evening is 741-6914. 6914. You can go down to the gridiron table and pick up your cakes.
Still there?
$20 will be donated to
Right on. I am back.
also be giving out free hot dogs.
Whew.
$20 for every test drive.
Concession stand line was a little long. Oh, man. We still aren't quite ready to go back yet, and they're still warming up. Oh. Tell you what, paid $2 for a Frito chili pie that I can eat in about 15 seconds. Right? Oh, well, I'm sure it goes to some sort of school organization. Yep. This game's going by so fast. It's 8:26 right now, or 8:28 or something like that. We'll be out of here by 9:15. Because they'll have a running clock the entire second half. If there's minimal penalties and timeouts and stuff like that, it'll only last about a half hour. Yeah. Right. Because each quarter is 12 minutes, so there's 24 minutes. And if it's a running clock, if there's no timeouts or penalties, that's just 24 minutes and a intermission between quarters. I think the latest game I've had all year is like 9:25. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I'm pretty sure I read they'll play the winner of like West Franklin and Central Heights maybe. Yeah, next week. Yeah. Yeah, West Franklin and Central Heights. And West Franklin's up 27-0 over Central Heights. So, yeah. No joke. All right, go ahead and send it back.
Kicking off for the Lancers is number 14, Bryce Peterson. Back deep for the Cubs, number 13, Isaiah Coronado. Ball goes out of bounds.
Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas. As we approach the second half of play this evening, Cubs lead 54-0 over the visiting Southeast Cherokee Lancers. Lancers kicked off to start this second half. The kickoff went out of bounds, so it was a penalty, and Humboldt starts first and 10 at their own 40, pistol formation. Second team players are in the ball game. It is a handoff, and they're going to get about 8 yards on the play. Kyle Kobold on the carry for the Cubs. Zayden Hendricks on the stop for the Lancers. As we mentioned earlier in the ball game, Humboldt is 7-0 on the year. After tonight, they will more than likely be 8-0 unless something drastic happens. They are set to play home field advantage next week in the first week of the Kansas State playoffs in Class 2A. They will play the winner of West Franklin and Central Heights. And West Franklin was up 27-0 over Central Heights in the second quarter. Pistol formation. Coronado, the quarterback, keeps it and is going to get a no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Cubs on their own 48-yard line. We have a running clock for the second half. We are now at 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. I believe the cutoff score is 45 points. If there's a 45-point deficit in the second half, you will have a running clock. Coronado still in at quarterback. We've seen a lot of rotation at the quarterback position among the second teamers this season. It'll be a speed option play to the left. Coronado's going to keep it, bounce it back to the right, and be brought down in the backfield. 46-yard line is where they're going to mark it, so a loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th and 4 on their own 46-yard line. Cubs are more than likely going to go for it here on 4th down as everybody looks at their wristband for the play. Jackson Akins, the lone receiver to the right. Got trips receivers to the left. Pistol formation. It is going to be an option play to the left. Pitch to number 4, and number 4 did not know what he was doing on the play. Ethan Depke, a freshman tailback. Limited game experience for Depke this season. Turnover on downs for the Cubs in their first possession of the second half. Lancers will take over 1st and 10 on the Humboldt 40-yard line. 8:30 remaining in the third quarter. Shotgun formation, single receiver to the right, motion left, pitch left. Has a little bit of a lane and is going to gain a few positive yards on the play. Zayden Hendricks, the ball carrier, number 42 for the Lancers. Drake Harrington on the stop for the Cubs. 2nd and 6 for the Lancers coming up from the 36-yard line. Single receiver to the left for the Lancers. Shotgun formation, motion right, handoff right, number 17. Has a couple good blocks. He's got the edge. He's down the sideline and is going to be brought down at about the 21-yard line. They're actually going to mark it an extra 3 yards downfield at the 18. Joe Murrow on the tackle for the Cubs. Jarrett Brumback, the ball carrier for the Lancers, gained right about 14 yards on the play. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper up the middle, keeps his feet driving. He's got about 7 or 8 yards. Pile is being pushed. Bryce Peterson on the carry. He's got about 7 yards on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the 11-yard line. Southeast offense has something going here in their first possession of the second half, looking to get on the scoreboard. Single receiver to the left. Shotgun formation once again. Motion left. Pitch left. Number 42 once again on the carry. He's got a lane, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown Lancers. Zayden Hendricks, a sophomore tailback for Southeast, gets their first touchdown of the contest. An 11-yard carry on a pitch play to the left side. Had some good perimeter blocking by his receivers and snuck just inside the pylon for the score. Tight bunch formation for the Lancers on his 2-point conversion. Whistle on the play. We'll see what the call is. Illegal procedure against the Lancers. That'll back them up 5 yards, and a 2-point conversion try will come from the 8-yard line. Same formation for the Lancers. Good snap. Looking left to pass. Has a man. Incomplete pass.
Pass intended for number 8.
The score will stay 54-6 while we approach kickoff. Let's go back to the station for a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY.
Brings the score Humboldt 54, Lancers 6.
Welcome back to Cubs football here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Lancers are set to kick off to the Cubs. Their last and only kickoff of the contest so far went out of bounds. We'll see if the kicker can do a little bit of a better job here on his second try. 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Peterson set to kick for the Lancers. It is going to be an onside style kick fielded by the Cubs at their own 46-yard line. Kyle Kobold on the recovery.
32, Kyle Kobold. Cubs take over on down.
.330 remaining in the third quarter. Score is still 54-6 in favor of the Cubs. The entire second half will be played by the second team offense and defense for the Cubs as they are up by 48. Trying to save some energy by the starters going into round 1 of the state playoffs next week. It's more than likely they will play West Franklin. High snap. Coronado's going to have to take a sack on the play. They're going to mark it as a 8-yard loss on the play off the bad snap. That's why we get the young kids some playing time here, is trying to work out some kinks before they get thrown into action so they know exactly what to do. 2:35 remaining here in the third quarter. It is 2nd and 18. Ball is placed at the Humboldt 38-yard line. Twin receivers right, single receiver left. Shotgun formation, Kobold, the lone tailback beside Coronado. It is a pass run option. Coronado's going to keep it. He has a lane on the sideline, tries to cut it back up the middle, and is taken down right at the 50. Good sportsmanship by Jarrett Brumback, helping Coronado up after the play. That was going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Cubs. A little bit chilly here this evening, but not nearly as bad as it was last week at Northeast Arma. Kind of misted the whole time and was about 15 degrees cooler than it is this evening. 1:30 on the clock left here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation. Switching to a pistol formation for the Cubs. Single receiver right, twin receivers left. It is an option play to the left. Coronado's going to escape out of a couple solid-looking tackles. He will get brought down for a loss on the play, but he did a good job not to lose even more. It'll be a 4th and 7 for the Cubs offense, more than likely going to be a punt here. Ethan Depke is going to punt for the Cubs, the freshman. Back deep to receive is Peterson and Hendricks for the Lancers. Good snap on the punt. Depke gets a solid kick away. It's going to be fielded at the 23-yard line with a fair catch by Peterson. And that is where Southeast will take over for their next offensive series. One offensive series so far for the Lancers in the second half, and it led to a score. 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We will see if they get a play off and going before we hit intermission, and it looks like they will as they approach the line of scrimmage now. About 12 seconds left on the clock. Single receiver to the left. Motion right. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. Peterson is going to get a decent amount of yardage here. They're going to mark it at the 28-yard line, so it'll be about a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for whenever we come back from the intermission to start the fourth quarter. While they flip the field for us, we're going to send it back to the studio for a 1-minute timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY.
Handed off to number 17, Garrett Brumback. And on the stop, number 2, Jackson Aikens.
Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas. We've already ran one play here in the fourth quarter. It was a 2-yard run play by the Southeast Cherokee Lancers. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 situation from their own 30-yard line. 11:30 remaining here in the contest. Humboldt leads 54-6. Shotgun formation for the Lancers. Single receiver to the left. It'll be motion right. Number 42. He's going to take it to the left side. He's got a lane down the sideline. Blockers. Cuts it back up the middle and will be brought down right at the 50-yard line.
Number 32,
Kyle Kobold on the tackle, as well as Joe Murrow, I believe. Zayden Hendricks, the ball carrier for the Lancers, got a good chunk of yardage on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 Lancers at the 50-yard line, trying to get their second score of the ball game. High snap, pass play, number 8 looking to throw, has a man downfield, number 42, and it is brought in by the Lancers. Heck of a catch by Hendricks. Heck of a throw by the quarterback in the Lancers. Brett Molly is a senior quarterback. He is not their starter, but maybe he should have been. Threw an absolute dime for a 30-yard connection to Hendricks. Threw it right over the top of double coverage as well. 1st and 10 Lancers inside the red zone now. High snap. It is a handoff to the right. Good perimeter blocking. Number 17 tries to fall forward. He will end up gaining about 1.5 yards to 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 is what I'm going to call it for the Lancers. 9:50 remaining in the ball game. Lancers threatening to score once again. 2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Might see a little bit of more of a passing game for the Lancers here as they're having a little bit of success with it. Peterson and Molly in the backfield together at quarterback. Snap goes to Peterson, handoff to Hendricks down the left side. He's going to bounce it out to the far sideline, try to tiptoe his way in. He's inside of the 5. And they're going to mark it right at the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 after the 13-yard carry by Hendricks. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for Southeast. 8:55 remaining in the contest. Motion left, run to the right. It is a quarterback keeper from Molly, and he is brought down right about the 1 yard line.
Kept by number 8, Brett Molly. On the stop, number 50, Joe Murrow.
Joe Murrow on the stop for the Cubs. 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line for the Lancers. Single receiver to the left is number 2 for the Lancers. Dual quarterback set, motion left, and there's a flag on the play. Almost looks like a false start against the Lancers, but it is an encroachment or neutral zone infraction against the Humboldt Cubs. So half the distance to the goal from the 1 yard line, basically the same situation. 7:50 remaining here in the ball game. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line for the Lancers. Motion left. It will be a handoff handoff up the middle. Good fake, and it is a touchdown, Lancers. Brett Malley kept it himself and dove into the end zone for the score. That'll bring the score to 54-12. Still in favor of the Cubs. Lancers are showing, however, that they still have some fight left in them. They have now scored 12 unanswered points to open up the second half. We're about halfway through the 4th quarter. 2-point conversion try by the Lancers. High snap. It's going to roll all the way back to about the 30-yard line, and the Lancers are just going to fall on it.
Number 25.
So that'll bring us to another kickoff by the Lancers. While we approach kickoff, let's take another 30-second timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY.
Southeast Lancers 12. Back deep for the Cubs, number 12, Caden Barnett. Number 13, Isaiah Coronado. And number 22, Drake Herring.
Welcome back to Cubs football here on 98.5 FM, 1460 AM, KKOY. 6 minutes remaining, exactly halfway through the 4th quarter. Cubs lead 54-12 after the Southeast Cherokee Lancers touchdown by Brett Malley. Back deep to receive for the Cubs, number 13, Isaiah Coronado. Each of the Lancers' 2 kickoffs tonight have gone out of bounds by Peterson. This kickoff, however, is deep down the middle of the field, fielded by Coronado at his own 18-yard line. He's going to take it right up the middle of the field, has a lane, and is going to be brought down right about his own 41 or 2-yard line.
Number 2, Garrett Evans.
Garrett Evans on the tackle for the Lancers. They're going to mark him down at the 42-yard line. About a 24-yard return for Coronado. If he would have been able to make about 2 more guys miss, it would have been a touchdown. We have a new quarterback in the game. It is freshman Gavin Page for the Cubs. He's seen a lot of time last week against Northeast Arma. It is going to be a pistol formation. Coronado is going to switch from quarterback to tailback. See, he's a lone tailback in the backfield. It is going to be a handoff to Coronado. He's going to try and bounce it out right. Gavin Page kept it, and he got a few yards. He got about 3 yards on the play before being tripped up. It was a very solid fake by Page. Even fooled me. Brett Malley on the play for the Lancers on the tackle. 2nd and 7 for the Cubs. 4:25 remaining in the contest. $54-12 remains the score. Pistol formation once again. Page still the quarterback. Handoff to Coronado. Up the middle. Stumbles. Falls forward for a couple of positive yards. They'll mark him down at the 49-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3 situation. Score update. 4th quarter. Neodesha leads Fredonia by 1 point. Score is 21-20. Girard beat Osawatomie 43-0. Galena over Parsons in the 3rd quarter, 32-14. We're going to have a timeout, Cubs. They're a little bit confused on the offensive side of the ball. While they take a timeout, we will take one with them. 30 seconds. We'll be right back here on 1460 AM, 98.5 FM, KKOY. Welcome back to Cubs football here in Humboldt, Kansas. Humboldt comes out in a shotgun formation. Trips receivers to the left. Page still the quarterback. Good snap. Pass left. Caught by number 14 for the Cubs. Stiffs arms the defender. Gets the first down. And he is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Good pass by Gavin Page. Kyle O'Neill Wilkes, the senior receiver, with the reception for the Cubs. Hendricks on the tackle for the Lancers. 2:35 remaining in the contest. Just down the road, Labette County traveled to Chanute. They are leading the Blue Comets 46-7 in the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation for Page. Speed option to the right. He's going to keep it himself, bounce it up the middle, and he's going to gain about 5 or 6 yards on the play. They're going to mark it as a gain of 4.5. Hendricks on the stop once again for the Lancers. They're going to call it a 2nd and 5 for the Cubs. 1:54 remaining here in the ball game. Just looking to run out the clock at this point and get everybody going home safe and with no injuries. Page still in at quarterback. Ethan Depke now in at tailback. It is going to be a quarterback run play to the right. Page is going to keep it, bounce it out to the outside. He has some room, tries to jump cut up into the middle and loses his footing. He's going to be marked down at the 26-yard line. Gain of 11 on the play for Page. Decent looking run for the young freshman.
On the stop, number 53,
Micah
Micah Huber.
Uber on the stop for the Lancers, number 53. We are now under a minute to go in the contest. Trips receivers to the left, single receiver to the right, pistol formation for Page. It is going to be a speed option to the left. He is going to pitch it out to Depke. Depke's got some room on the sideline. He's going to be brought down out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, 13-yard carry for Depke. Garrett Evans on the stop for the Lancers. And that might be the last play of the ball game, as we are under 20 seconds to go on the game clock, and the play clock has not restarted. There was a flag on the play. It'll bring the play back and erase the yardage gained by Depke. But that will take us to the end of regulation. Humboldt defeats the Southeast Cherokee Lancers 54-12 and completes a perfect regular season record, 8-0 for the Humboldt Cubs. We're going to give you a couple more score updates from around the area, and then we will send you on your way. Fourth quarter update between Girard and Osawatomie, 43-0 was the final. Marmaton Valley leading Chetopa 36-6. We have mentioned Labette County over Chanute 46-7 in the third quarter. Fort Scott losing to Eudora 14-7. See if there's any more ones from around here. Southern Coffee County and St. Paul tied at 24. You can hear that game over on 105.5. And it looks like that's probably going to be all of the local scoring updates that we can find as of right now. So with that, we are going to go ahead and send you on your way. Next week, you will hear us here on the radio once again as the Cubs are presented with their district championship trophy on the perfect 8-0 season. Next week, we will more than likely see a visiting West Franklin come to town for week 1 of the Kansas State 2A class playoffs. With that, we will send you on your way. Everybody listening on the radio, please drive safe. Everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you back again next week. For Wyatt Bollinger here on the mic, and my dude Cody back at the station, thank you for running commercials so smoothly for me. Filling in tonight, you did an awesome job. We will see y'all knuckleheads next week. Good night, everybody. Right on, man. We'll see you later.